everyone, my name's Caitlyn and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. Today I wanted to go ahead and share my top 3 Christian nonfiction books that I have read. Yeah, these are just ones that I really loved and I really got a lot out of, and I just wanted to share them with you all. And yeah, so let's jump right into it. I will also at the end be sharing 3 that are at the top of my TBR that I hope to get to soon as well. So yeah, let's jump right into it. First up, we have The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. This copy is actually the anniversary, I think it's, I don't know, 20th anniversary, something like that, expanded edition. And yeah, I read this the very beginning of 2025. I started it on January 1st, and I read a chapter a day. There are 42 chapters, I believe. Yes, 42 chapters. So yeah, went through the first 42 days of the year reading a chapter a day, and I got so much out of it. I love this book so much. I highly recommend it. So if you're not familiar with Rick Warren and with the purpose-driven idea, it is a concept that he has come up with that's based off of the Bible, which is that God has 5 purposes for our lives, which are worship, fellowship, discipleship, ministry, and evangelism. And that we need to always be working to make sure that those 5 purposes are balanced and that we are living out those 5 purposes in our relationship with Christ. And I'm probably not describing that very well, but it's so good. It's so good. It's so powerful. There were a couple of quotes that really jumped out at me and I wanted to share. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, so the first one is, it's in chapter 38, day 38. And the chapter is called "You Were Made for a Mission, Becoming a World-Class Christian." And I really liked that because this is the expanded edition, it has some mentions in it of like technology, because the original one I think was published in the 90s. So yeah, I really like this like little addition to it. And it says, "We have no excuse not to spread the good news. Now, with the internet, the world has gotten even smaller. In addition to phones and faxes, any believer with internet access can personally communicate with people in virtually every country on Earth. The whole world is at your fingertips. Even many remote villages get emails, so you can now carry on evangelistic conversations with people on the other side of the world without even leaving your home. It has never been easier in history to fulfill your commission to go to the whole world. The great barriers are no longer distance, cost, or transportation. The only barrier is the way we think. To be a world-class Christian, you must make some mental shifts. Your perspective and attitudes must change." Now, that quote really touched me, because I look at everything that I do online, YouTube, Instagram, all of it. Yes, it's about books, but I look at it as a ministry and a way to point people to Jesus. So that really hit home for me, and I really love that and just wanted to share that. And another quote, he says, "About 30 years ago, I noticed a little phrase in Acts 13:36 that forever altered the direction of my life. It was only 7 words, but like the stamp of a searing hot branding iron, my life was permanently marked by these words. David served God's purposes in his generation. Now I understand why God called David a man after my own heart. David dedicated his life to fulfilling God's purposes on earth. There is no greater epitaph than that statement. Imagine it chiseled on your tombstone, that you served God's purposes in your generation. My prayer is that people will be able to say that about me when I die. It is also my prayer that people will say it about you too. And that is why I wrote this book for you. This phrase is the ultimate definition of a life well lived. You do the eternal and timeless, God's purpose, in a contemporary and timely way in your generation. That is what the purpose-driven life is all about. Neither past nor future generations can serve God's purpose in this generation. Only we can. Like Esther, God created you for such a time as this." And I really love that, because I definitely have struggled a lot in my life, not super recently, but in my teen years and early 20s, with feeling in a lot of ways like I had been born in the wrong century. Because feeling like I really did not, like, you know, my ideals and my values, and even my interests are like something, you know, I mean, I love history and I love old-fashioned things, old-fashioned activities, old-fashioned values. And so much of that felt like it just wasn't compatible with the current time. So I definitely went through a period of time in my teens and early 20s where I really did kind of believe that I had been born in the wrong century, that I would never belong in this century. And so that just really, like, and I did eventually get past that and accept that I don't know for sure why I was born in this specific century, but I know that God had a reason for it. And even if I never fully fit in, that's okay. That's okay, because I personally think it's important to have some middle ground between, like, accepting modern technology and modern conveniences while also having an understanding and an appreciation for things and ways of the past as well. So yeah, I don't know, that was kind of rambling, but that just really kind of touched me. So anyways, I highly recommend this book. I will definitely be rereading it in the future. Okay, next up I have Breath as Prayer by Jennifer Tucker, which, first off, isn't this just an absolutely gorgeous cover? It is foiled, it has gold foil as well, and it's just stunning. So this book is about breath prayers, which I had never heard of prior to reading this book. But what they are, they're not something strange or new agey or anything. All it is simply a short prayer that is usually 2 sentences, and it's based in scripture. So every single prayer in this book is pulled from scripture itself. And so it's 2 short lines, one that you pray on an inhale and on an exhale. And you pray those when you are experiencing anxiety, really anything, anytime that you are struggling with anything, you pray those prayers continuously until you notice a difference. So it combines prayer, so getting yourself focused on God, with breathing exercises as well. And yeah, I love this book because it is laid out like devotionals. There are different types of breath prayers, and there is a like an index here that is color coded to help you find the type of prayer that you need for your circumstances at that moment. But they're very quick and easy to read. There is a devotional, but the prayers themselves are two lines, so they're easy to remember when you're in a difficult time and you're really struggling. And yeah, I have found it so helpful, and I highly recommend it. I mean, yeah, I love it. I love it so much, and I just think it's so great because it's engaging our hearts, our souls, our minds, and our breathing to get all of that focus on Jesus when we are really struggling and going through really, really difficult things. And I just love that. I mean, is it, you know, a perfect cure-all? No, of course not. But it's definitely another tool to have in your arsenal. So I would highly, highly recommend checking out this one. Okay, and then I highly recommend Strength of a Woman by Lauren Cruz. And the subtitle is Why You Are Proverbs 31. Now, this is a deep dive into Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. And Lauren has a Master's of Divinity from New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary. And she taught me, I cannot even begin to tell you how much she taught me from this book, how many things I learned about Proverbs 31, about what the fact that it is written as an acrostic poem in the original Hebrew. And this book focuses, she teaches and helps us to unpack the meaning of the word pictures that were used as the first word of each line of the acrostic poem that is Proverbs 31. And so she helps to unpack the deeper meaning behind what is being stated, and helps you to see the ways in which you are a Proverbs 31 woman. Because I don't know if you can relate to this, but sometimes the Proverbs 31 woman feels like an impossible standard to live up to. But the way she unpacked it and helped me see that it's not about what you do necessarily, it's all rooted in Jesus and what he has already done. And I can't communicate enough how deeply this book impacted me. And it's very information dense, so definitely want to take your time with and unpack a little bit at a time. And I already knew I want to reread it because I know I would get even more out of it a second time through. But it's huge. It's an amazing book, and it's not super thick, and I highly recommend it. Okay, and then on to 3 that are pretty much at the top of my TBR. First up is The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. And yeah, I have never read anything by Lee Strobel before, and I am really excited about this because I love stories of people who are trying to disprove the gospel and disprove the existence of God and end up confirming it instead. Because I love stories where we get to witness how God is working. And yeah, so I'm very much excited to give this one a go. And then I have The Powerful Purpose of Introverts, Why the World Needs You to Be You by Holley Gerth. I love Holley Gerth. Holley Gerth is probably my favorite Christian nonfiction author. She is also a licensed counselor and a life coach as well. And she has a way of writing that just really touches my heart because it's very personable, very relatable. It feels like you are chatting with a friend over coffee, and very encouraging. Like it's like every single time I have read one of her books or just even read something that she's posted on social media or whatever, it just is always encouraging. It's always exactly what I need to hear. And yeah, I just love her books. I love her books, and they are all biblically based, and I'm very excited to read this one because if you didn't know, I am an introvert, and yeah, I know this is going to be amazing. Okay, and then the last one up is a devotional that is called Embraced by Lysa Terkuerst. I can speak English today. And it is 100 devotions to know God is holding you close, which isn't this book just absolutely stunningly gorgeous? I can't even with it. The teal edges, I mean, oh my word. So yeah, it's a 100-day devotional, and I am very, very excited to get to it. So yeah. Okay, so that's all for this video. Let me think. Let me know if you have a favorite Christian nonfiction book or one you're excited to get to soon down in the comments, or anything else you would like to chat about. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.